All right, everybody, welcome to Rana's Radar. Where I am is just, you can tell I am so excited. The smile on my face has not stopped. There is so many different classics. The cars here, the collection here is absolutely insane. There's a hot rod shop. There is so much happening, and I want to show you and give you a glimpse of exactly where I'm at and how this all began and the man behind it. So here I am at Bobby Alloway's car collection. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it. Some of you know this. Other people have mentioned it to me. You've got to go check out the collection. It's absolutely insane. It is insane.
Well, thank you.
Bobby, you're
right. It's insane.
It is insane. You know when they say about an addiction?
Yes. I've got it.
You've got it.
I do.
And the thing that I love about your addiction, it is not specific to one type.
No, they're cars.
They're cars. There is Tri-5s here. There's a Ferrari here. There's a Porsche here. Okay, and the thing I'm so excited, and that's why I had to put my camera on. We've got the Hellcat, the latest Hellcat, which is going to be the last of its kind.
Last of the muscle cars, they say.
Last of the muscle cars.
Yeah, that's a jailbreak there.
So tell us about that. You've got the last of the muscle cars. Let's start off there of the Dodge Hellcat and as well as the Shelby GT500, the absolute last ones, 2023 model. What made you want to go and get that?
Well, they say it's the end of an era, so I hope it's not. I hope they continue to build, but they say there's not. And I just wanted something to put up to collect. I don't think anybody's ever put a new car up and made money on it. That's for sure. But I've always wanted one, and I was fortunate enough to be able to get on a list and get one. So,
yeah.
So that was great. But I just like the cars. As simple as that.
I know you like the Tri-5s. There's a fair few Bel Airs up there, which is why.
Well, you go through, the older you get, you go through your childhood. And I drove a 55 Chevrolet to school. So, but in school I had a 55, 56, and 57. So I've finally, again, got a 55, 56, and 57.
To go back.
Yeah, they were all black at the time, too. So.
And they were all black, which is why we've got, so they've got 57 here. There's two 57s.
No, there's one 57. 57, 56, and a 55 behind the 56.
And then you've got a wagon, you've got a Nomad as well. There's an El Camino just sitting up here looking absolutely striking. And then we've got the hot rods, of course. Bobby, I'm just blown away. When do you think it started? Take us back. I know you got your first car in high school.
I was doing that in high school. I don't know anything else, so I had to do it. I've not got a great education. I don't read good. I don't spell good. I don't type. But I do like the cars, it's just an addiction. It really is. It's like a drug, I guess. I don't know how you'd break it.
Well, you don't just like the cars. You don't just go and buy cars and have them sitting here looking pretty. You work on them. You've got a shop, great reputation. So you work on the cars as well. So don't give me that I don't have this education or I don't know how to type and all that, because you all know that I appreciate that skill so much. And look where it's gotten you. Tell us about Alloway's Hot Rod Shop.
Well, I worked at a Ford dealership for 16 years. I ended up service manager, and I did this on the side, just with my own cars. Mm-hmm. I built the Riddler car that we won the Riddler with in '85.
Wow.
So that's been a long time ago.
And how long were you working before you won that Riddler? Because that's a big thing.
It is. I built a 33 coupe back in the early 70s. And I guess that's what helped me get started in it. I became a friend of mine was Pete Shapour's that owned Pete and Jake's Hot Rods in California. And I met him, and that gave me the bug, I guess, because I'd seen him in magazines, I seen him in this and seen him in that, and he built the California Kid car that was on the movie, and I was sort of starstruck, and so I started going to California, me and my wife, and back when I was in my 20s, and you just get the bug and you get it, and I just wanted it. I wanted to do something like that. I guess I wanted to be like Pete, maybe.
Yeah.
But it was hard in Tennessee. because no magazines. California boys had it easy because the magazines was right around the door from them. So we had to do something really special, or we had to travel a lot to get any coverage whatsoever. And that's just what got it started. And then I fell on this ISCA show car circuit, and we traveled it for a few years. And we traveled it with we were showing on this end, the southeast, and Boyd Coddington was showing on the west coast out there. So we were competing together. Me and Boyd were friends. I met him when he was at Disney. He worked in
when he was working in Disney.
He was a machinist at Disney, and Shapoorsh was the one who introduced me to Boyd. But and we became real good friends till absolutely the day he died. I talked to him till every day or every once a week forever. But I guess the biggest thing that happened to me was what made the shop get bigger was in 1998, lightning struck the shop and burned it down.
Oh.
And we lost 14 cars.
Right here in Tennessee?
Right where you were at a minute ago.
Oh, wow.
And it burnt everything, and with none or little insurance. So I had to start over. So I started over in 98. And I guess if that hadn't happened, you probably wouldn't be here, because I would have still been doing what I was doing. We were comfortable doing this, but when you lose everything you had, you have to start over and build it again. So
what was the difference between what you were doing and then what you did when you started over?
Well, I had 2 employees instead of 7.
Okay.
And it was just I had to. I don't know how you'd put this. I had to buckle down. When you lose everything you had to start over. So you just had to work harder.
Wow.
And we were building the speedsters at that time, the fiberglass cars that I designed that Boyd had a hand in and Chip had a hand in. And we were doing it here, and they were doing metal cars in California, and we were doing fiberglass cars here. But I don't know. I guess some ways the fire was a blessing. Mm-hmm. In some ways, because it made me buckle down and go back to work again.
But that also just shows exactly how strong your passion is. It didn't deter you. It didn't
no,
bring
and you
down.
can't blame it on anybody. Me and my wife sat up there on the steps and watched it burn. But you can't. One of these days I may stop and cry about it, but I haven't had time since.
Well, you haven't had time.
We built it back in 45 days. But I call it. There was so many friends.
45 days.
So many friends of mine came and helped, and it was great.
Wow, was that just the shop or your house as well?
Just a shop.
Just a shop.
Yes,
wow.
Just a shop. So when you've collected all your life like I have, and luckily some of this stuff was in another building, mm-hmm. and I didn't lose all of the cars, but it's hard to start over with nothing. Yeah. I mean, people don't realize I didn't have a bolt or a nut. I didn't have an extra screw or an extra tool, or it got tools, it got everything. It even got the concrete on the floor. We had to re-pour all of that. But a fire will lose everything. I tell everybody, you think you can't lose everything. When you have a fire, you can lose everything. So.
Wow. I mean, I'm learning about restoration and what we can do when we find barn finds and, cars that have been inside rivers. Right. But I'm guessing fire damage is one of those things that, were you able to restore anything or save anything? Nothing.
Nothing. Maybe some hand tools. Shapoorsh came in here, Pete did, and took a piece of an old Halibran wheel that was melted in two. And to the day he died, he hung it in his office and put reality check under it. So it was. But it was. But no.
You bounced back, and you bounced back really well.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes you'd think that hindsight. I sort of wish that I wouldn't have built back down here. I'd have went and got a storefront or something like that. I can't get away from it now. I walk to work.
And you don't need a storefront because the reputation speaks for itself. You're busy. You're busier than ever. And but yeah, there is. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to go look at a few cars in detail. You don't have a favorite, do you?
Not yet.
Not yet. You asked me when we walked in here, and even your other garage, which was just, well, we're going to show all of it. You said, all right, take your pick. And I'm just like a kid in a candy store. I'm looking around saying, I like it all. I love it all, you know. There's a Ferrari right here. Tell me about the Ferrari for starters.
Well, I can't build a Ferrari.
You can't build a
sure.
Ferrari.
I can. I've always wanted one, and I built a 72 Baja Bronco. It was a Bill Stropp Bronco. It was built for the plant manager in California that Bill got the Broncos from, and the guy's family had the Bronco for years, and I bought it and restored the Baja Bronco. And I had a customer that had the Ferrari that wanted the Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
So I traded the Bronco for a Ferrari. So
that's how that came about.
That's how that came about, yeah.
Now, you said you can't work on this. Now, a man...
No, I can't build it.
You can't build it?
Wait, no, I can't build it. I can build this. I can't build that.
Why? What is one of the main differences?
Well, it's just...
Obviously, I mean, there's a lot.
It's just a Ferrari. I mean, it's just... I can restore this. I can restore these old cars, but those supercars are something else. So.
Well, there's a lot more computer technology as well in that.
They are, yeah.
So it's very different to the classics.
Yeah.
And right next to you, let's talk about this.
This is a car that I put parts up for years and said I was going to build me a 32 to keep one of these days, and this is the one that I'll probably keep. It's got, my wife calls it the dead car because all of my friends that I got parts from are dead now, and I've put all of these parts on this car, the grill, the radiator, a lot of Boyd stuff. These are the first set of functional brakes that was done. It's got some Lobeck stuff on it. It's got a little bit of everything on it from a lot of people down the road that were friends of mine. So
the 32 and 33 Roadsters, for me, they look exactly what you would think of when you say the word hot rod.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they were big, especially with Shades of the Past. I mean, for so many years, it was always the 32. Why? Why is that the connection there?
Well, the 32s, the reason I built so many 32s to give away, this is probably the easiest car to build that I know of, especially a 32 Highboy. It's pretty simple. Way easier than building a 33 Highboy.
Oh, okay.
The way the front end's made on it to finish it off. But these cars are iconic. I mean, it's a 32 Ford. So.
This just gives you an idea of, I guess, Bobby's taste. Like you said, you like cars. A variety.
Yeah, I like cars.
You like cars. That's it. Full stop. I like cars. You've got a very supportive wife.
She is.
Very
great.
supportive.
She's great. She's great. We grew up together.
You grew up together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have to ask about that. I love that. Tell me. I wish she was here.
I do too. I met her when she was 18. She went to work at the Ford dealership where I was working at, and she was cute as bug. So I set my sights on that, and I did it. So that's a good accomplishment right there. So she teaches school, and she loves these cars, and she's not as she doesn't love them quite as much as I do, but she does.
You would have a problem if she did.
True.
Both of you would be running out of space for starters.
But she lets me do this and doesn't say a thing and doesn't complain about it, and you know, this is all I do. I build a car and keep it and put it up somewhere.
Love it, absolutely love it. I'll definitely have to meet her one of these days. But
she'll be at the show next week that you're coming to.
At the Good Guys?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll definitely see her there. And hey, we're going to get her on film as well. Hopefully she's not camera shy. All right, so I'm going to call this the finished projects or your favorites? What's going on here, Bobby?
This is just some stuff that we've done over the years that I've kept. Some of these cars I've traded back for. We built this Thunderbird for a good customer of ours in St. Louis for his wife, Kathy Lang, and my wife always liked this car, and I was going to build her one similar to this one, and then Kathy came in and I had a Corvette that she really liked, so I traded a Corvette for the Bird. And this flame car was that's the first car that we ever flamed.
It was the first one?
First one, yeah. This is the first body that we ever built from Rat's Glass.
But it's been done so well.
Well, this car was
look
on
at this.
the picture of Street Rodder magazine there on the wall with me and my wife and Tom Clark.
There's the car right there on the magazine, and that's Cindy in the picture.
Yes.
And is that you?
That's me.
That is so cool. And you've got so much memorabilia here as well on the walls. A lot of good guy stuff, I see.
That's the first Good Guys Nationals in Nashville. The one with the blue Mustang, blue and silver Mustang.
The first one ever?
Yes, in Nashville, yes.
In Nashville, okay. Well, speaking of the good guys and in Nashville, that's happening.
Next week.
Next week.
Yes, we're trying to get stuff done for it next week.
I'm going to be dashing there. And I say dashing because the Grand Nationals, the F100 Truck Nationals, which I do like, that's on the same weekend. But I believe on the Saturday, I'll be going to Nashville.
Yeah, it's the same location we're doing the Triple Crown. Me and Gary
Exactly.
Case is doing the Triple Crown in September.
You know, I put a post on Facebook just yesterday, and I said, you know, there are so many great shows happening, and it's so good for me to see this. We've got the C10 Truck Nationals happening this Saturday in Texas, and then you've got the F100s, and then so many other shows in between. And I said, show them all, bring out the best ones, because then the top of the top will be revealed in September at the Triple Crown.
Yes, ma'am.
And I thought to myself, this is so cool. I get to see some trucks, I get to see some cool builds, see the Chevys, see the Fords, and then reveal exactly what is the top one.
We're the finale.
You're the finale.
We're just about the last one here.
Exactly. And that's what I thought to myself. So I'm pretty excited. You know, I mean, Triple Crown we talked to Bobby about it, and it's happening. It's big. There is so many big names, big designers behind it. So many big shops.
They're all friends. They're all friends of mine from years of, as you can see, all of this. That what I've been doing it since I was in my 20s, and most of those guys we grew up together. Like I told you, Alan Johnson, he did the radio. I met him when he was 16, and we've been friends ever since. So
how do you know Dave Kindig?
Dave Kindig. He sat in one of the speedsters that you'll see over here years and years ago, and then when he worked for a coating company, it was a ceramic coating company, and the name, I can't think of the name, and then he became a big TV star, and we still know each other. So
well, Kindig Designs is awesome. He's going to be there at the Triple Crown. Of course, Chip Foose is going to be there, and you've known him from California.
Chip who?
And then you've got the big sponsors, Good Guys, Barrett Jackson,
PPG is one of the big ones, and Good Guys, and ARP is sponsoring the big awards, and CPP is sponsoring the awards, and I can't think.
Don't think about that, but hey,
But Steve Tracy with Advanced Plating is doing a great job. Brian Brennan with In the Garage Media with all the magazines, they're coming, they're involved, and actually they were one of the ones that helped start the Triple Crown. It was Tracy and John McLeod with Classic Instruments, and Rick Love with Vintage Air, and like I said, Steve Tracy with Advanced Platings, and Brian Brennan, he was with Street Rodder magazine at the time.
Yeah.
They all actually started the Triple Crown, or came up with that idea, and asked me if at our Shade Show if we would do the award there, and we did. So that's how it all got started, and then nobody didn't want to see it die, or at least us four didn't. So
there was many people who didn't want to see Shades
I sort of
die.
took it over, and then Gary Case was a good friend of mine back in the 80s, and he said that he might want to get involved, and He may be second guessing it now. He's done all the legwork. I'm shaking hands and kissing babies. He's done all the hard work. So when the showtime comes, it'll be my job. But he's done a great job with what.
Well, I spoke to Gary, and he's got a lot on his plate, but he comes from a big background of cars.
He does.
So and it seems a lot, but he knows what he's doing. It's in the right hands.
Well, it was something that he didn't, like you said, we didn't need to do it. We wanted to do it.
Exactly.
And it rejuvenated him. He's got back into it, and he'd been out of it for a little while, but he's wide open right now with it.
You know, a thing that I'm most excited about, we're going to get back to the cars in a minute, but the big award, the big giveaway, a truck that
Yes.
is getting made, custom made
We
for
hope.
this, we hope, because they're only starting the production in June of memory.
Yes.
So are they going to be able to finish it by September?
Oh yeah, the truck. I mean, the truck will, if they get it built and get it to us, it'll be fine. As of last week, the dealership that I was, they're going to secure a white truck
Not a black one.
just in case my black truck doesn't get built. I'll paint a white truck black.
Okay,
So that's the black truck is.
you have a backup option.
We have it's a hard option, but I hope it don't go to plan B, but we've got to do it. I mean, we've advertised it, it's out of, I mean, I've got to do it, and I don't want to wrap a truck. We think we can get a white truck. We think we can find a white truck.
Okay.
And so we're going to try to secure the white truck.
And what better man to paint a car black than yourself? I've seen so many black
Yeah,
cars.
we'll have to do one of Foose jobs. We'll have to do it in 7 days. But, maybe have to get him to come in and do it, huh?
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. To have the car actually be painted by Chip Foose, I mean, that alone would be pretty cool. But this is getting custom made for the big giveaway, and that is huge. That is so exciting, and you are so into it that you have a backup option as well in case things didn't go.
You have to. You know, we did 32, and I thought this would be the easiest thing to do it because everybody would want a truck, and we would order a base truck and then this do our deal to it. But I think we could have got a Z06 easier.
Well, it's still going to be absolutely awesome, but that's not the only one. You've got the guitars.
Yes, that was Steve Tracy orchestrated that, and I think that'll be great.
Yep.
I mean, where could you win something other than Nashville and get a custom Gibson guitar?
One thing I wanted to ask you is there any cash prizes?
Yes, it's going to be, we're doing a 50-50,
Okay.
and all of that will go to charity. And
Nice.
if it's anything like the Shades, gosh, it could get $60,000-$70,000.
I remember.
Good.
Yep. Okay, awesome. We're going to be talking more about Triple Crown as it gets closer to the date. Bobby, come over here and tell me about
Elvira?
Elvira.
When we were showing ISCA back in the 80s, Elvira was always around at some of the shows, and I found that, and I thought, well, what more suitable to have Elvira?
Inside your garage.
And then I've got Linda Vaughn over there in the other corner.
Oh, I like that picture of Linda Vaughn. Yeah.
And then I have
She's
a picture
awesome.
of Linda Vaughn dressed up like Elvira at SEMA on Halloween.
There she is, the original hearse girl.
And here she is, Raina. We were inducting Angelo Giampetroni into the Hall of Fame at SEMA, and there is Linda dressed up like Elvira.
Oh, wow. I have to take a picture of that and show her because I do see Linda often these days. And I might see her again in Georgia for the Moonshine Cruisings if I can fit that into my schedule because great crowd over there, and I know Linda's going to be there. So I'm going to take a picture of that and show her. She'll love to see it.
This is interesting, I think. This is Boyd Coddington's Christmas presents that he did back years ago. The tops, the little cars, the dice over there. That's Boyd's original hat. I've got his glasses.
Wanted you to know the first big 100 that looks 100 times better in person.
That's the first picture of Shazam.
Wow.
that Fred Warren has. That was when it was first did. And Boyd was just unveiling it and wanted me to see it. So here is, some of these people won't know that here is one of the first billet wheels that Boyd was making, that Little John Batura machined out, and it messed up and they threw it away out in California, and I was there and I picked it up and kept it for myself. But that was that's been a long time ago.
Wow.
Jesse James worked with them at the same time.
An absolute true car guy, Bobby. That's all I can say. You know, I've seen collections before as well, but the thing that I love about yours is, one, there's a big variety, and two, you've touched every single car.
Yes.
You've worked on it. And of course that's something, it's just special all on its own. You haven't just bought it and parked it somewhere.
No, but we can't, those people that do that are fine too. I mean, they help us make a living and they enjoy it. It's just what they do, I can't do.
Yes.
And so I can provide them something that they can't do, and they provide me something that I can't do. Is they can provide me, they can pay for us doing this stuff. So.
Oh, I'll be one of those people.
But
of course, there's nothing wrong with that.
The different in my customers are, my customers are all friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Boyd asked me one time, and I always remember that he said, how do you have all of those same customers at your trailer at the shows together at one time? And I said, the trick is get all of those customers involved with each other. Don't keep any secrets. I'll get George. I'll tell George about Larry's project, and I'll tell Larry about George's project. Well, then they'll be talking together about that, and there's no secret. So if you stay up front with everything, it'll be great. And all of my customers are friends. When we go out to eat at shows, most of them all go with us.
Mm-hmm. And
it's one of those sayings. Well, it's not. Well, Lord, George is going to have to go. No, we want George to go.
Yeah.
So and we're not taking really any more customers. Unless it's just something that you just really, really want to do. We've got the guys that we've got keep us busy.
Yeah.
And we're blessed to have them. And like I say, they're more friends than they are customers. And if I could do it for free for them, I would, but you can't. Just like like the Triple Crown, it's not about the money, and I've said that 1,000 times, and some people won't believe that, but it's not. It's getting all of these guys together and having fun. And
it's not. I can so see that actually is not about the money, because yourself and the people involved, you already have so much going on.
We do.
Okay, you have so much going on, but yet you were doing this because a lot of people, and we all know, I mean, I had so many people tell me, and all you have to do is read the comments on Shades of the Past, my coverage that I did last year. There's 4 parts to it. I'll put a link in this as well. People were disappointed. Like, yes, they were very disappointed, and you guys heard that as well. It's a small world, and said you've got to do something.
And they're disappointed that we're not standing Pigeon Forge. But Raina, I couldn't stand Pigeon Forge. There wasn't a place to have it if we were going to expand and go to trucks.
Yeah.
And I think we needed to do trucks.
Yeah.
Trucks and that's where some of the young guys are into trucks, and we need to get some of those people back, some of the younger generation back into this, because the people my age are dying off.
Mm-hmm.
And just like you said, I asked you why you were doing this.
Yeah.
You're doing it because you want to. You have fun doing it.
It's
you
fun.
love it. Yeah.
And I do love the trucks. I love the classics and the hot rods, but at the moment right now, the trucks is just, I mean, it's brilliant.
It's just like building these cars for these customers. Everything that we do, they don't have to have.
Yeah.
And I tell my guys, if we don't make it fun for them and make it fun for the wives, everybody, then we're out of business.
Yeah.
So, and that's the reason, like the Triple Crown, I want not only the husbands but the wives to come and enjoy themselves, because if she's happy, everybody's happy.
That's very true. That's very true. If you've got a supportive spouse, then everything is fine, you know. So we're blessed in that way. I'm blessed as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to run around like this. But Bobby, it has been amazing, and I'm so excited for the Triple Crown. And I'm going to see you in Nashville for the good guys as well.
I'll show you. Let me show you a Speedstar before you leave.
All right, we've come inside another section of Alloway's hot rod shop, and okay, let me show you guys what I'm looking at. First Speedstar that you ever made.
First Speedstar coupe, yes. It was in 1999. We debuted this car at SEMA at the reception.
Wow. And then you've got the Roadster.
That was built for my wife.
His and hers. Love it. I love the flames on this. See how that red just complements the interior? Wow, see, I love the front end of the hot rods like this, and that Plymouth Roadster that you're working on. It's yeah, I mean, that had the fenders on, of course. That's got a completely different look, and that's got a bulky, mean look to it. But then again, this is pretty sleek. Look at this.
We did those cars back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, nice.
Boyd was doing some Boydsters at the time, and then we came up with this idea. I wanted to do a 33 style, so we were trying to find a name, and I told Boyd he'd used all the stirs, Boydster and speed and all that, and I said I've got to come up with something else. So we come up with Speedstar. So
Speedstar.
Yeah. We were going to call these Sportsters, but then
that would have been nice.
It would be, but then I told Boyd, I said, you used all the stirs, so we had to do something else.
Wow. All right. Well, you work on cars. You've got an amazing collection. When you want to go out and drive, what do you take? If you're feeling up, or if it's date night with the wife, you go cruising. What key do you pick up?
If right now I'm driving an Audi.
What? Where did that fall in from?
Oh, I just like it. I just don't know, it's something. Yeah, you walk by it down another building. Yeah.
That's me, you know. Yeah. It's like when we were inside the other, your other shed, you know, like, you know, there's the Ferrari, and there I am. Oh, look at this Tri-5s. Yeah. Yeah, but when I'm thinking, like, you know,
I used to, when my daughter was small, every afternoon I would put her in a 32 Roadster and strap her car seat in it, and me and her would go riding in it in the afternoons, and we did that for years and years and years. Now she's big enough she can take me for a ride. So.
That's awesome. You actually would put the car seat inside a Roadster.
I figured out a way I'd buckle a car seat in and we'd take her for a ride. So I used to do that quite often.
Nice. Bobby, you've been involved with the cars for many, many years. You make them, you build them, you collect them, but you've also been involved with judging as well.
Yeah.
Which is great, because for somebody who's doing something like the Triple Crown, you've got that judging background there as well. Because it's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of people wanting to come in there and show that they've got the best build.
Well, I think that...
I don't even know if I should ask this, if you will be a judge or not.
Yes, I am.
You are a judge. Okay.
Chip's going to help me. Mm-hmm. Me and Joe Bailey, the guy that we talked to down there, we did the shade show. Joe and his son helped. And Joe actually started Shades at the Past Start Car Club. He came up with the name, but on this Triple Crown, I always think you should be judged by your peers, no matter what you do. And I always said, Troy Trepagna ever came up and looked at one of my cars and pointed something wrong with it, I should fix it probably because it's probably wrong. And I judge cars the way that I want my cars to be judged. And it's not always on how much money you spend or like this. I like a theme, I like detail, I like stance, I like sound, I like this, I like this. I like for the whole car to go together. So Chip asked me, he says, well, are we going to have any criterias? And I said, no, it's just whatever we like is what it's going to be. So we've done that for 30-something years, and it seems to have worked. Now, are we going to offend some people? Yes, we will.
You can't keep everybody happy.
No, you can't.
But you're a guy who likes all different types of cars. So people are in good hands. You're not a person who is particular to one sort. You've like the muscle cars.
It shades of the past. We had a Volkswagen that won a street machine trophy, and I was asked, how did a Volkswagen win a street machine trophy? I said, well, it just about won street machine of the year. It was a cool Volkswagen. It was really, really cool, and you've got to be opened up to that. And I don't get into degree of difficulty on a car. I just think if a guy builds a cool car, then
it's the finished project.
It is, and apparently it's worked pretty well. I think the Triple Crown will be fine. It'll be judged the same way. The trucks will be judged the same way, and if there's a problem, the who's judging it is not a secret.
Yes.
So come and ask.
Love that.
And you may not like the answer, but it'll be a truthful answer.
Yeah, but I mean, the people behind this, they're not over there doing what they're doing right now if they didn't know.
Well, Raina, when you judge cars, you look like at the shades. I'd always, Joe would park them and I would stand and he would look at them when they were being parked and I would look at them as they came in. And we would have the deal that you didn't look at my car. Yes, I did. I did. Yeah. I looked at your car when it came in. And in your mind, then you know the cars that you really want to go see. And then after that, like our top 25, I'll guarantee you could have picked 15 of them yourself. Now the other 10, you could have probably picked 30 that would have been the same as the other 10 because it gets real close. But usually your top cars are pretty self-explanatory. They are. I'm anxious to see the trucks because there's some real good trucks being built out there.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
And we've got some heavy hitters coming, so it'll be a good show. So if you're going to win something, you need to win when everybody's there. Not when there's nobody there. So when we played ball, you'd want to go play the good teams because you can win anywhere around with the lower teams, but you want to win the big ones.
But there are people coming from all over the states, from California. They are coming. So the competition is high.
It is.
You really got to bring your A game, which is why, like I said before, just yesterday, I was getting really excited thinking, okay, I'm going to these truck shows, so I'm going to see what's out there. And I'll be telling people about Triple Crown. I'm like, okay, if something is really good, like you're going to do anything more to it, make some modifications, bring it on down. Because to get that trophy, to get that award for the first year, that's huge. I mean, I feel like it's going down in history. Like that's huge. The first year of the Triple Crown.
I hope so. That's what it's all about. That's what we're wanting it to be. Is something that people will remember in a good way, not a bad way. Not a bad way. Now I'm worried about rain now already. It's 5 months out, and I'm worried about it going to rain. Is it going to rain on my parade? But so it's.
It has rained before at shows, it might rain just... We were established
at Shades, so it didn't hurt us as bad.
Exactly, but this is the first year.
The first one, it's a pretty big commitment, but it's going to be fine. If it's meant to be, it'll be. If it ain't, it won't. And they say if you build it, they'll come. I'll build a ball field down there, and the girls and the kids come. So
now the venue, it doesn't have an indoor place.
We have a garage area just for some inside vendors, and we're taking half of the garage area and using it as a hospitality deal for food vendors. So you can sit down and eat, or you can be in the shade. Where normally at that place it wasn't like that. So we're going to take some of our vendors area and turn it into just a place, picnic tables and stuff where you can sit down and have lunch.
Nice.
But no, there's no inside.
Okay. It's gonna be fun.
Hope so.
It will be fun. Now, this has been so cool. Super excited, and we're gonna catch Bobby you again at the Good Guys.
Great. See you next week.
See you next week.